Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot, and I am in a very, very pissed off mood right now. Why am I in a pissed off mood, you ask? Because fucking piece of shit rhinos here in Ohio think it's a good fucking idea to allow not only ERPOs, but also safe storage laws to get hearings in our House Oversight Committee hearing today. It's absolute garbage, dude. It's fucking trash. I've already specifically called out, got a list of numbers right here. I already called out Bob Peterson's number, and I called out Jim Thomas's number, who actually lives about probably 10 miles or so from me right now in a different district. And when I called up his office, which both of them had their messages go, is what it was, I actually told him, I was like, hey, if you'd like to meet in person and talk about this further, I would like to meet with you. So hopefully I'll actually get a call back on that one or not, I don't know. But yeah, it's fucking ridiculous, dude, and it fucking pisses me off. First of all, how in the hell are you going to have not one, but two different bills that are all 100% Democrat sponsored be pushed in a Republican supermajority General Assembly? That is fucking retarded. Why would you ever even allow this shit to get a committee hearing to begin with? It is the most stupid fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And the fact that you're allowing it to go on proves to me one thing, and this is something I want to make an announcement right now. This is the announcement I was going to make next week, by the way, number one of them. So basically, in a week, we're going to be celebrating our first anniversary here at Ohio Patriot Education Network. You know, it's also going to be the first anniversary of constitutional carry in the state of Ohio. And I was going to make an announcement that day, but I'll do it early, honestly, because of the fact that I'm sick and tired of it. In the coming weeks to months, I will be starting to enact petitions for Article 1, Section 2 of the Ohio Constitution to remove people from office right now. Specifically, when you actually look at Article 1, Section 2 of the Ohio Constitution, which we'll talk about right now here, it is government instituted in their equal protection and benefit and they have the right to alter, reform, and abolish the same whenever they may deem it necessary, and no special privileges or immunities shall be granted that may be altered, revoked, or repealed by the General Assembly. And specifically, when you actually look up the whole Article 1, Section 2, it's all political power is inherent to the people, or in the people. Government is instituted in their equal protection and benefit, and they have the right to alter, reform, and abolish the same, meaning abolish government, whenever they may deem it necessary, and no special privileges or immunities shall be granted that may be altered, may not be altered, revoked, or repealed by the General Assembly. So basically, we have the right to remove you fuckers from office, and you don't have the right to repeal that. And I'm going to tell you what right now. I don't know if it's Bob Peterson. I don't know if it's Jim Thomas. I don't know if it's fucking Bill Seitz. I don't know if it is John Cross. I don't know if it was Scott Ollinger, Shannon Ray, DJ Swearingen. I don't know who it was. I thought it was a good fucking idea. Maybe it was all of them together, honestly. I thought it was a good fucking idea to bring up House Bills 170 and 175 to House Oversight Committee for hearings today. When less than 24 hours ago, people just found out about this shit. The Pro 2A side just found out about this shit yesterday. Not even 24 hours ago, because it was like 4 o'clock when they fired off an email to me is what it was. It was specifically Hal Gunners that said that to me and stuff, and that's why I got it on here today. So, it's a bunch of shit, dude. And my thing is, it would be like, okay, it would be one thing if you all had some fucking balls at this point and actually put your fucking name as a goddamn rhino on the fucking legislation. But you're not going to do that, are you? No. You're going to have a bunch of Democrats only on that shit and then just advance it in the fucking committee. What the fuck, man? That is why, honestly, every person I just named off right now is on the fucking chopping block for these rhino sacks of shit, dude. Every single one of y'all are going to be petitioned against you to remove from office at this point under Article 1, Section 2. And every single fucking Democrat on either one of these pieces of legislation is going to have the same exact thing happen to them at this point. All 24 of these fuckers. And then we'll keep going from there is what it'll be. Because I have fucking had it with these people, dude. I have absolutely fucking had it with these people. They are unconstitutional. They are committing multiple fucking felonies in office at this point. They have committed hundreds to thousands of fucking misdemeanors in the past 4 years now. Just based on the anti-gun shit alone, just based on the anti-life shit alone. And yet you keep allowing them to sit in office right now. Shit, 2 fucking years ago, Allison Russo, fat fucking envelope full of cash, the same House Oversight Committee hearing room that y'all were sitting in today. This bitch walks in, has a Moms Demand Action member hand her a fucking envelope full of cash. Never investigated. Never investigated for bribery. What the fuck, man? It's absolute bullshit. That is actually an archived fucking video, by the way, on the Ohio channel right now. Go back to May 2021. You can find the fucking House Oversight Committee hearing what happened at, because it was discussing constitutional carry at the time. It was HB 227, something I supported ever since then. I've been supporting that shit from the beginning, and then eventually it became the Senate bill, which I also supported, and eventually became law last year. And it's like, dude, stop fucking with our constitutional rights here. And of course, who is the fucking primary sponsors of this bullshit fucking ERPO crap? It's first-term fucking cunt Michelle Grimm, who I'm pretty sure has direct ties to Moms Demand Action, as one of their membership, just like that bitch Rachel Baker does. And it's absolutely bought and paid for anti-gun fuckstick who should have been tossed out of a fucking General Assembly through term limits last year, that sack of shit fucking asshole Cecil Thomas. So anyway, we actually have a few things here that we want to show, because there actually was video evidence of this today from the House Oversight Committee hearing, and we'll discuss Michelle Grimm's bullshit lies here in a minute. Here's what it is about ERPOs, quote-unquote, saving lives. No, they won't, you lying bitch. What they will do, I'm going to say it right now. Constitutional oath. You, Michelle, took on January 3rd of 2023 here. Breaks the 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 14th amendments of the Constitution, lady. You are an oath-breaking fucking mega cunt, and you need to be the first one fucking exiled from the General Assembly immediately over this shit. And Cecil Thomas needs to be number 2 on that list. And the rest of the fucking 24 on this need to be after that then. But yeah, this is there's that idiot Bob Peterson right there is what it is. And by the way, Bob Peterson, just like Cecil Thomas, is another one of these sacks of shit that broke their own term limits, because they're like, oh, well, I'm termed out in the state Senate. Let me go over to the State House now for the next election cycle. There's a reason why we have term limits in place, you fucking assholes. It's so that you cocksuckers can't just jump over fucking different things then and keep flip-flopping General Assemblies and be career politicians. You had 8 years in office. Get the fuck out and don't come back. It's as simple as that. God damn.
For its first hearing, House Bill 170, Representative Graham and Representative Cecil Thomas. Welcome back to Government Oversight Committee.
Thank you so much, Chair. Chair Peterson, Vice Chair Thomas, Ranking Member Forehand, and members of the House.
How much you want to bet Bob Peterson's having an affair with Michelle Grimm right now? Just the way he was smiling at her, I wouldn't be surprised, dude. I wouldn't be surprised if his ass actually was the one that put the shit up here, is what it is. And gave it the fucking... Because, I mean, the thing is, he's the goddamn chair of the committee, dude. He has the fucking final say if this shit goes through or not. Or if it's told to fuck off, basically. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised in the least. And then that fat bitch right next to Grimm, the brown-haired lady there, is that idiot Jessica Miranda, who is the one behind the safe storage crap.
Government Oversight Committee. Thank you so much for the opportunity to offer testimony on House Bill 170, which establishes a legal process for temporarily removing firearms from the possession of people who are displaying signs of being a danger to themselves or others.
It's not
known commonly as extreme risk protection orders. Or
here's the problem I have with all that, right? First of all, not temporary, because you can go down to Florida right now, ever since 2018 when they enacted that bullshit down there. 4 years now, people have been fighting to get their rights back. And what these fuckers never bother to mention, by the way, about ERPOs, is you don't actually have criminal charges against you, so you don't actually have the right to have a defense attorney by default from the state to defend your rights. It's a bullshit fucking process to where you basically either have to A, defend yourself, or B, pay out a bunch of money to go hire a lawyer yourself to fight to get your rights restored on this shit. And secondly, who the fuck's to say who's a danger to themselves or others? I could sit here and say that you, Michelle Grimm, are a danger to every single fucking Ohioan right now. You are a danger to every single person in the state because you're pushing this shit. Because you're going to get people killed. You're going to get people killed in many different ways because people are going to fucking finally have it. And when you have your fucking bullshit ass, jackbooted fucking thug, wannabe Nazi fuckboys jumping up at people's fucking houses and stacking up at the door, you're going to have fucking firefights. You think it's not going to happen, but it will. This is honestly, and I've said it before, dude, I wondered what was going to be the final straw to kick off the Second American Civil War in this country. It's going to be this shit right here. It's going to be this kind of fucking garbage right here, dude, in a fucking red state, whether it be Ohio or someplace else like that, where they're fucking trying to push this garbage through. And when it finally fucking happens, dude, you're going to have people fucking fight back against it. And you're going to have a bunch of people on both sides die because of these fuckers. Because a bunch of fucking oath-breaking fucking cunts did not get thrown out of fucking General Assemblies on the spot when they pushed this shit. This is exactly why I've said for over a year and a half now why we need to have an automatic disqualification amendment in the Constitution itself as a 20th Amendment, both on being in office and running for office. And when you're pushing anti-gun legislation like this, immediately you're out of office and there is a fucking police officer a police officer with handcuffs right behind you, about to lock your fucking ass up in handcuffs and drag you out the fucking door for a multitude of fucking crimes at that point, including deprivation of rights or color of law, including oath breaking, including misuse of position personal gain, including fucking bribery scandals, etc., etc. Because you know damn well, when you look at these fucking people like Grimm, when you look at these other first termers like Forhan, etc., these fuckers have direct ties to Bloomberg cash for 2022. Why the fuck were they even allowed to run for office at that point? When their entire campaigns were funded by a billionaire anti-gun fucking cunt who shouldn't even be allowed to be fucking walking free right now because he already himself should have been arrested decades ago when he was pushing fucking literal stop and frisk shit as New York's fucking mayor. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. At what point do we say enough is enough? At what point do we enact articles like Article 2, Section 1, or sorry, Article 1, Section 2 of the Ohio Constitution and remove these fuckers from office? And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm going to do right now. That's what my plan is in the coming months. It's going to be to start petitions up to remove every last one of these fucking pieces of shit from office right now. Because obviously they're not going to do it themselves. Obviously you're not going to have a supermajority Republicans do it to the Democrats at this point, because they're all in fucking league doing backdoor fucking handshake deals and sucking each other's dicks and whatever else the case be there. There's obviously a bunch of shit. That's the thing, dude. We have talked about it for years on this channel in multiple, monikers and stuff like that, under multiple names. These fucking people, Ohio is one of the most corrupt states at the state level for a reason, because you have pay-to-play shit going on everywhere in this state. And that's what I'm saying. Honestly, at this point, there are 99 people in the state house. There are 33 people in the state senate. I say kick them all the fuck out at this point, and we start fresh entirely. We start fresh with 88 new state reps, one for each county, and we start fresh with 22 new state senators, and we get rid of fucking like a bunch of other ones then. And we go down to 110 across the board is what it is. And that's the exact number forever now. Because it doesn't need to be 33 state senators. There needs to be 22, one for every 4 counties is what it is. It's a bunch of shit, dude. It is a bunch of bullshit to even have to put up with this crap right now. But anyway, going back to Michelle's lies and bullshit here.
Red flag laws. Thank you to my joint sponsor here, Representative Thomas. It's right here. For working with me on this critical piece of legislation that, if enacted, will save lives.
Lies.
Particularly those of individuals who are imminently distressed and suicidal, while respecting the rights of due process in the Second Amendment.
No, it doesn't.
House Bill 170 authorizes a family or household member, a law enforcement officer, or a law enforcement agency to petition a common pleas court for issuance of an ERPO based on allegations that the subject of the petition poses a significant danger of causing personal injury to self or others with a firearm.
Yeah, and you know what that doesn't do, lady? It does not give that person the ability of due process to actually see their fucking accuser. It is literal fucking backdoor bullshit ass hearings of ex parte shit. It's the exact, literally, when you look at this fucking shit they're trying to push right now, it is the exact same fucking garbage these fucking cocksuckers pushed 3 days after the Dayton massacre when they were Antifa and BLM allied fuckboy, killed a bunch of people down there in the Dayton, killed a bunch of people down there in the Oregon district down in Dayton. And mind you, what did that fucking piece of shit Betts do before that? Oh yeah, he committed like 10 other fucking felonies because he was high as a fucking kite and taking all kinds of recreational drugs at the time, right before he went and killed a bunch of people. So it's not like he wasn't already committing like multiple felonies at that point. Not like he should, like, and that's the thing too, right? Like the problem is, right, with this whole thing right now, you don't need ERPOs in any state or any part of this country is what it is. For one very important reason. We already have 5150 laws on the books. You already have the Baker Act since the 1970s. If you really believe someone is a danger to themselves and others, you can have them mentally committed for 72-hour psych holds. And if it's found that they're not psychotic or they're not going to kill somebody, or whatever the case be, then they're going to be let out. But if it turns out they are a danger to themselves and others, guess what? They still remain in a fucking psych hold. They still remain locked the fuck up as a mental patient or in a jail cell or whatever the case be. But you know what they don't have done? They don't have their Second Amendment stripped from them. They don't have their guns taken away from them and then be like, oh, we think you're a danger to yourselves and others, so we're going to take your guns, but guess what? We're just going to leave you here with all these knives and fucking bats and shit. You can see it from other states that have already enacted this shit, dude. There are so many stories out there. I remember hearing one, it was about a year or two ago, actually. It was a guy who they did an ERPO against in some state. They had him and shit. And what did he do? Oh, he just went and grabbed a fucking kitchen knife and stabbed his mother to death with it. Because they don't give a shit about your actual due process. They don't give a shit about your actual life. What they care about is control and fucking power. And it's exactly what these fucking cunts did 3 fucking years ago when they shut down this country. And it's what made me even more of a constitutionalist than I am today talking to you right now. Because I kept doubling down and doubling down and doubling down on the constitutional rights. And going and rereading and rereading and rereading the Constitution. And discussing exactly how we should be doing things now. And so many other people were just trying to grab power and grab people's fucking livelihoods. And control who could and couldn't fucking survive then. Financially. And yet a lot of these fucking cunts, your Cecil Thomases of the world, your Allison Russos of the world, your fucking Bob Petersons of the world. These fucking assholes are still in office 3 years later here in Ohio. Why the fuck are they still in office? Why? Why are Cecil Thomas and Bob Peterson even in the General Assembly right now when both were termed out of the state Senate a year ago? Again, there's a reason to have term limits. You had 8 years to do stuff. Get the fuck out and go get another job. Go someplace else. You're not a career politician. You were supposed to be a civil servant representing the people of Ohio that you swear an oath of the Constitution to uphold. To protect the Second Amendment, to protect the freedom of speech, to protect the right to due process, to protect the ability to actually have your rights to not be illegally searched and seized. And that's exactly what this shit does away with. All of them. Oh, this person said the wrong thing on the internet that we didn't like now. Oh, we're going to federally swat them and take away their guns now. That's what happened to me 4 fucking years ago, by the way, almost. Except for the taking the guns part. I was federally swatted by a bunch of fucking dickhead Yang supporters because I said something as an offhanded remark as a what-if scenario. And you know damn well if ERPOs existed back then, dude, I would be having my gun rights taken away from me right now. And I still wouldn't have my guns back to this day, honestly. Because that's what these fuckers do. Temporary my ass, dude. It is a permanent stealing of people's protected freedoms. It is a stealing of their personal property. That's what it is. It is government theft of personal property that you were taking away from people who in 99.9% of cases aren't going to do shit. It's going to be that 0.00001% that's a bunch of fucking leftist douchebags who are terrorists in this fucking state right now. But because of the Democrat voter base of the state, of course the Democrats aren't going to fucking have them arrested. It's just like that piece of shit Connor Betts who committed the Dayton massacre. You know what that motherfucker was? He was an Elizabeth Warren supporter. He was a fucking Bernie bro. Antifa affiliated, BLM affiliated. And a self-described fucking communist. He should have been in jail in Ohio in 2012 when he committed a rape and kill list in his high school. But you know what happened? His fucking parents, just like Alice Russo had a bribery fucking envelope full of cash, Connor Bett's parents hid a fucking envelope full of cash to some fucking cop to get him off. And for 7 years, this piece of shit, low-key, was still committing other crimes. Hell, and that's the thing, right? The problem with ERPOs is they only work if people actually say, hey, this person's dangerous to themselves and others, and actually call the cops on them. You know who didn't call the cops on Connor Betts for anything? His parents. His fucking then girlfriend who was actually engaged to some other guy. When he was literally being driven by her to some ex-chick's fucking place where he was putting death threats on this girl's fucking door. He was leaving notes that were death threats on this chick's door. And yet nothing ever came of it. Because again, it does not work. It's a bunch of shit. All it does is fuck over your constitutional rights. And I will be goddamned if I let this fucking shit go through, man. This is the one time where I'm actually willing to if I take a fucking bus, I'll take a fucking bus down to Columbus to testify against this bullshit now, dude. That's how pissed off I am right now. I have had it with this shit. 4 years now I've been fighting against this crap, dude. It's mentally exhausting. It's mentally draining. It really is. And it's like, enough is a fucking enough. It's time for motherfuckers to be arrested at this point and kick the fuck out of our General Assembly over this shit. And it needs to start with Michelle Grimm and Cecil Thomas, honestly. And go down the fucking line from there with Casey Weinstein, the hate hoaxer himself right there. Like I said, and I've said it before, I'll say it again right now. Casey Weinstein, 1 month, not even a month, I think it was about 15 days or so after I was federally swatted, this motherfucker committed a hate hoax on himself when he was trying to push gun control in the form of mag bans and then went and printed off a bunch of tyrant memes and put in his own fucking mailbox. Never investigated by the FBI for misusing U.S. Postal Service. Never investigated by local law enforcement over the shit. Nobody. Why? Because he's a fucking Democrat with a two-tier justice system where if you're a Democrat, you can get away with everything. If you are either centrist or Republican, you get fucked in the ass and are a political prisoner now for years of your life over the whole January 6th bullshit. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. It really is. Anyway. Let's continue on with Michelle Grimm's lies. Here's what it is.
Should the court find by preponderance of evidence that the respondent poses a significant danger, the court must issue an ERPO for a period of 180 days.
6 months? Jesus Christ.
70 outlines the entirety of the ERPO legal process, but I wanted to highlight just a few aspects of that's contained in the bill. So in determining whether grounds for an ERPO exist, the court may examine under oath either a party or witness called to the stand, conduct reasonable searches, and consider relevant evidence. Relevant evidence as described in the bill may include a recent act or threat of violence, mental health issues, violations of a protection order, unlawful or reckless abuse of a firearm, and prior arrests for violent crimes. If an ERPO is issued, the respondent may submit one written request for a hearing to terminate an ERPO every 180-day period, that the order is in effect, stating from the date of the order, and continuing through any renewals.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop there right now and talk about it. So, you have the ability, you know, sorry about that. I had to discuss some stuff with family. So yeah, going back to what Grimm was saying there. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to make this legal. They're trying to change it just enough to where it would actually fit constitutional muster, to where it couldn't be basically lawsuit the state or lawsuit their ass is what it is. The problem I have with that is what she even said there is bullshit. So you have an ERP, let's say it like this, right? Okay, I say something, you know, oh, I'm going to do, you know, whatever. Or let's go back to what scenario I did in 2019, right? You know, things that got me federally swatted. Now I have an ERP on me for 6 months. In that time, I have the ability to do a hearing once. And who's to say how long the hearing is going to take, dude? I could honestly get the ERPO hearing or whatever the case be, right? I could file the petition to get a hearing on that on the first day. And it might not be for 179 days after that I actually get the fucking hearing then. That's how fucking insane this shit is. Because that's the entire point of the Democrat Party, and that's the entire point of fucking scumbag-ass criminals in office right now. They want to and I've been saying it for a while now, dude. Their end game, it's the same thing with the pistol brace ruling recently, actually. These people's end game is 100% to deny us the ability to fucking vote. To deny us the ability to remove their asses from office with voting rights. And on top of that is to take our gun rights so that we can't have another 1776 in this country. So that we can't remove tyrants from office by force if necessary. And that's the entire point. It shouldn't even have to come to that, by the way. But the entire point of the matter is, that is exactly what the Second Amendment was written about, dude. It was about our founding fathers who literally fought against the fucking British Empire months before that to get their fucking freedom from tyranny. It's not about fucking hunting. It's not about fucking sport shooting. It's not about any of that shit, dude. It is about literally killing tyrants who have gone full tyrannical and need to die. And that's the entire point of the matter. It is to protect ourselves from the tyranny that they are committing. And it's as simple as that. Just to be clear on that one, just because this whole thing's coming out now, I'm going to make this very fucking clear. I am not threatening anyone. I have never threatened anyone. I am simply stating a fact of what the Second Amendment was actually about. That none of these people seem to understand is what it is. And it's as simple as that, really. But yeah, it's all bullshit, dude. And I'm actually kind of sick and tired of hearing Michelle's voice here, and it's not even worth listening to the rest of her crap is what it is here. It basically goes on for another 10 minutes or so of her bullshit, and then Cecil Thomas's dumbass getting up there and bullshitting, and more on Richard Brown, who stole election last year, bullshitting. Actually, let's go ahead and hear what okay, Grimm is talking here again about something that somebody was talking to her about. I do kind of want to hear this because it looked like it was one of the Republicans that was calling her out on something here, so let's go ahead and see what he said here. I'm not sure exactly which guy this is right now. It might be Scott Olinger, but it might be one of the other guys on the... trying to think who else is on this right now. It might be John Cross or something. No, it wasn't John Cross. It might be James Hoops or somebody that was talking to her on that one, or it could be one of the other Democrats, actually. But I do want to hear what this dude was saying. No, actually, I'm sorry. I think this was one of the other Democrats she was talking to, because it was that idiot Mike Skindell, if I'm not mistaken.
States and things like that, and I think
okay,
that
go back on there for a second.
they do 60 of them. They
on the red
yeah, something more on Skindell.
The Rockefeller Institute found that it reduces suicides.
No, it doesn't, you lying son of a bitch. Mind you, okay, let's talk about this, right? This piece of shit right here, Mike Skindell, is the motherfucker who should have been thrown out of our General Assembly a year and a half ago when he was sitting there fucking trying to shout down Jenna Powell at the time over girls in sports and having girl-only sports is what it was, and banning transgenders and girl sports is what it was. He was a fucking man-child, bitching and moaning like a fucking 5-year-old throwing a temper tantrum, wasn't tossed over General Assembly right then and there is what it is, dude. This is also the same sack of shit, by the way, who was pushing fucking mask mandates back in 2020 and was also being like, oh, everybody needs to get the fucking jab now. Everybody get the fucking jab now. How about this motherfucker? How about anybody in the General Assembly right now in the state of Ohio who is taking the fucking jabs is no longer allowed to hold office now because y'all are not mentally fucking right in the head anymore. You're completely mentally deficient to actually hold office anymore because you're clearly too fucking stupid to pass an IQ test. That needs to be a fucking thing, by the way. Anybody that's ever taken that shit willingly, gone. You can no longer hold elected office in this country ever again. Period. Anyway.
California, Berkeley found it reduces suicides.
More lies.
Mass shootings.
More lies.
There are studies looking at individual states.
More lies.
Do you know of any credible study that...
yeah, some moms may actually create bullshit lies that you're all pushing right now, Skindell.
A positive impact on these red flag laws?
It doesn't, you idiot. These are all unconstitutional.
Representative, I certainly haven't come across any of them, but I mean, if we...
Of course you haven't come across them because they're all bullshit and there is no fucking evidence that they do anything except take away people's rights, you dumb bitch.
There's even one from California saying there were threats of mass shootings.
Yeah, California, the most unconstitutional state ever. Oh, by the way, I'd like to point something out too on that one. They keep referencing California in that, right? You mean California, the state that has every fucking anti-gun law in the books through red flag laws, universal background checks, ammunition background checks, assault weapons bans, every other thing you fuckers want, magazine bans, all of it, dude. They have every single gun control that you fuckers want on the books in their state. Yet what is California? The #1 fucking place for mass shootings in this country. Because shocker, criminals don't follow the fucking law. Because shocker, people who actually are going to do something, just fucking do it. They're not going to sit there and tell you, oh, I'm going to go massacre a bunch of people tomorrow. No, they're just going to fucking go commit their massacre, dumbasses. You know what stops those people? It stops people that stop those people are people like me who are fucking constitutionally carrying in the state and fucking kill their asses when they try to commit the fucking massacre. Maybe they get off a shot or two. Maybe they kill somebody. But guess what? We're going to be the ones that put them the fuck down with a mag dump right after that. So don't be sitting here trying to tell me that ERPOs are any kind of constitutional, you fucking stupid cunt. Because they're not. I am so fucking sick of these people, dude. I am so sick and tired of it. You have some of the most unconstitutional bullshit right now. And this is the kind of shit that fires me the fuck up, by the way. You guys want to know why I'm running for office next year for county commissioner? It's because of shit like this right here. And if I could legitimately primary somebody the fuck out that I knew was actually going to be able to be a chair that could be flipped or whatever the case, be a different county and shit, I would. If I had to move to a different county right now and replace one of these fuckers next year is what it is, dude, I would. But guess what? By then, this shit would already be in place then. That's why it's time that we do this now. That's why it's time that we enact Article 1, Section 2 right now and remove them from office. Enough is enough of this shit. Anyway.
I studied, and those never came to fruition.
I'm not going to listen to their stupid shit there.
States, Republicans have supported and adopted red flag laws. In their
no, they haven't, you sack of shit lying asshole. No, what has happened, you fucking lying prick Skindell, is you had places like Florida that you're seeing they're calling out red state. That was pre-DeSantis, by the way, that you now have Ron DeSantis and other people who are actually trying to do away with both the age limit upping of 18 to 21 to buy rifles in that state, and they're also trying to repeal red flag laws now, you fucking ass clown. No, what it was is you had a bunch of emotional assholes like you dumb motherfuckers did 3 days after the Dayton massacre 4 years ago when y'all tried to push the other bullshit back in the day. I'm going to see if I can find that paper real quick here. I think I still have it someplace here. Maybe I do, maybe I don't actually. I thought it was still sitting here. No, I guess I don't. You know what I do have, though? I have what these people love to talk about all the time, which is a gun lock. So, which, by the way, does nothing at all. Because, again, in order for a gun lock to actually work, you would, A, have to actually deprive yourself of having the ability to get to your gun in a timely manner when somebody breaks into your home. Because it's locked the fuck up, man. Because it would be literally, which side of this even pulls? It would be locked up through the fucking gun like that. And you'd have it in between the magazine wall and everything else like that then. I'm not going to do it on camera because I know that YouTube strikes shit for gun chats is what it is, or showing of guns and stuff like that now, but yeah. Maybe I'll just do a video on the channel one of these days is what it is, or maybe I'll just do it in like some other place where maybe I'll do like a Rumble one or something like that, Rumble exclusive or something, where I actually show it then. And it's just like, hey, this is what you can do that or whatever. Or maybe I'll just do like a, I don't know, like a Twitter video or something like that. And it's like, yeah, it basically disables the gun. You can't even use the damn thing, dude. So it's like, why would you want to have that on your weapon if somebody breaks in your house in the middle of the night? Oh, yeah, that's right. You wouldn't, because you're going to be dead by the time you're able to get it undone and get a fucking mag loaded into the gun is what it is then. And get one in the chamber. So, anyway. By the way, Mike Skindell was also one of these sacks of shit that was on the original ERPOs back in 2019. As was Allison Russo and Casey Weinstein. So, let's see here where I'm right now. I have a channel.
Important to do that here in Ohio. In the bipartisan Safer Communities
Safer Communities Act passed by the bipartisan U.S. Congress last year.
Wasn't bipartisan U.S. Congress, you dickhead. It was a uni-party bullshit with motherfucking sack of shit rhinos like Rob Portman voting for it because he was going to be out of office in less than 6 months. Which, by the way, I'm sorry to say, man, if you are on your last fucking year in office and you have less than a year left of your fucking term, guess what? You can't actually vote for shit like that, number one. Number two, if you do vote for shit like that, guess what? You're going to be walked off, perp walked in handcuffs to the local fucking prison cell. And then eventually you're going to be tried with fucking high treason, which is what these fuckers should have been tried with already at this point in history. So, anyway. And by the way, they literally committed a fucking school massacre in Uvalde, Texas to push that shit through, where they allowed fucking 100, I think it was almost 120 police officers or something like that. Something crazy like that. It was like, I think it was over 100 actually, if I'm not mistaken. Or something real high like that, 80 something maybe. Either way, a shitload of fucking cops there, dozens of fucking police officers there, that they had stand down for an hour and a half almost, while kids were being fucking slaughtered in a room where they could have literally run into the room a minute after this asshole and been and domed his fucking ass a few times. And the threat would have been ended right then and there. 2 minutes into that fucking school. He was in there, the cops were right behind him. He ran into the fucking door and their bitch asses waited outside. And they could have ran after him and just bang, 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 bang. Done. Done. The thing is, it's not like these kids were like 6, 7 feet tall, man. In fucking third grade or whatever the hell it was there, third, fourth grade and stuff where he was in that room with. Nah, they're like right here is what it is. Just aim high, motherfuckers. Aim for headshots, and you can kill this dude. And it would have been as simple as that, honestly. But no, what do? They sat there for almost an hour and a half and watched and waited while people were dying. The one cop's wife, who was a little teacher in the fucking room, is texting him, "This guy's about to kill me." And he tries to go in, and what did they do to him? They fucking stop him and take his gun. You have fucking parents in that school district that are outside trying to run into the school to see their fucking kids, and what do you have? Piece of shit cops fucking macing them in the face to stop them from getting their fucking children. This is the problem. It was inactive fucking law enforcement. The same law enforcement, by the way, that they're now trying to give the ability to take away your fucking rights in this bullshit. Fuck that shit. You cannot sit here and honestly tell me that there are not police officers all across this country that have personal grudges against people, that they would sit there and be like, "Oh yeah, I saw Dwayne last night and he was making threats about killing people. We need to get an ERPO on his ass now." 100% that happens all the time, dude. Because of some fucking person that lives in their community or whatever the case be, knows they're a cop, maybe they're a buddy, maybe they have a falling out as a friendship, whatever the case be, and now that cop is a fucking personal gripe against them. Or maybe it's somebody that officer has had interactions with in the past or whatever the case be on his off-duty hours. And again, it was just some dude or whatever the case be, and they got into it, years ago in a fucking bar fight or something like that. He's held a grudge since then. It is abusive, and then some. We've already seen in every single fucking state right now that has ERPOs in it how this shit can and will be abused. Because it has and will be abused. It's the reason why Duncan Lemp is dead now in Maryland. Because they fucking killed him at 3 o'clock in the damn morning by breaking and breaking his fucking windows. And what was his first instinct? Oh yeah, let me grab a gun because I think somebody's breaking into my fucking home. And then they killed him. No body cam footage, no nothing since then. His family is roughly suing the hell out of that fucking police department and the state of Maryland too, if I'm not mistaken. And you're not hearing that be mainstream media coverage. Why? Because it proves that ERPOs get people killed. You know who else got killed in Maryland because of ERPOs? Fucking Gary J. Willis. A 60-something-year-old black dude who had 2 cops come to his fucking door. He answers the door with a gun in his hand because he has no fucking clue who the fuck it is. And what do? They kill him. And there are way more instances than just those two dudes. There are other ones from other states right now. Or there are other ones from Florida and places like that where it's not even death, but it's literally having your guns taken away from you from the past 3 to 4 years now. Because it's not temporary. If it was temporary, first of all, If they want to sit there and say temporary, then put an actual fucking date on it. 30 days, 60 days, 120 days, whatever the case be. And you must have your rights restored after that then. If you want to be serious about it, if you want to be actual upfront about it, have that be part of the fucking legislation. They're not going to do that, though, because, again, they're fucking lying-ass criminal sacks of shit and fucking cunts, dude. They want to sit there and lie to your fucking face and be like, oh, this temporary rights restriction. It's not temporary when you're taking people's shit away for years of their lives, assholes. How about we take away your fucking freedom for a year or two and call it temporary? How about we remove you from office and arrest you on the misdemeanor deprivation of law right now for 1 year and 1 day, and you are never allowed to hold an office in this country ever again, because that is the lowest minimum of deprivation of law right now. And honestly, it should be 10 years. And for shit like this, it should be the death penalty. When you're trying to deprive tens of thousands to millions of people of their constitutional rights. No, you need to be unalive at that point, legitimately. And it's as simple as that, dude. You need to be given literally a federal death penalty at that point. Because you have already proven that you are the most corrupt, power-hungry piece of shit ever. So, anyway. See, going back here. I'm going to jump forward a little bit here. There's that retard Cecil Thomas right there. By the way, Cecil Thomas, I want to talk about him for a minute there. This motherfucker should have been kicked out of office about 3 years ago, actually, because he was bitching about people not wearing masks in some fucking committee hearing back in 2020, being like, my daughter has autoimmunities and stuff. Then don't fucking come to work and resign from office, you stupid fuck. How about that, dude? How about give bare representation of that Senate district at the time, you fucking asshole? How about stop being a little puppet bitch for Mom's Demand Action? Et cetera, et cetera. Because you all know you're fucking bribed, dude. That's the thing right now, right? If we want to be truthful about it, dude, there needs to be investigations open into Cecil Thomas and Michelle Grimm for taking direct bribes from Mom's Demand Action in the state of Ohio right now. Because I guarantee both of them have, just like Allison Russo did 2 years ago. There is no way that they didn't, dude. And like I said, I'm pretty sure when it comes to Grimm, she's actually bought and paid for as one of their fucking membership. Just like that bitch, Charmaine McGuffey down there in Hamilton County, Ohio, where Cincinnati's at. She is the fucking sheriff of that county, yet she ran and legitimately was open up front about it with people that, hey, I'm actually a member of Mom's Demand Action, but yet somehow I'm going to run for sheriff of a fucking county and be one of the biggest outbreaking sacks of shit when I get into office there. And she has been. She's been the only sheriff in this entire state right now who continuously will come into places where when we have different things like this, for whether it be ERPOs or red flag or mag bans or anything else like that, any kind of anti-gun legislation, she'll come in there and testify on behalf of it and admit straight up, she's like, oh yeah, I'm actually part of their membership. Then how the fuck are you still a sitting sheriff, you fucking cunt? Seriously, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. It really is. Anyway. Oh yeah, this is one of the first term sacks of shit right here. Daniel Isaac John from Cincinnati. Which, by the way, this piece of shit right here wouldn't even be in office right now if we actually had one county, one rep legislation on the books right now. Because he's one of about, I think, 6 or 7 people that represent the Cincinnati/Hamilton County area is what it is. You would have one rep for Hamilton County is what it would be, and it wouldn't be his ass. Or it might be actually depending, because if it's basically Democrat stronghold in a major city of Cincinnati, it might actually be like, it might be him actually, it might be some other Democrat that was what it would be then, because it'd be like 4 or 5 Democrats probably fighting for the seat then. But either way, you would have one, not fucking a bunch then. The same thing with Michelle Grimm here too, by the way. She's like one of like 3 people from Toledo, Ohio. And that particular county, you'd have one of them, not 3. So, God, they were taking a lot. God, this is like a half hour they were talking about this shit for, dude. Jesus Christ. By the way, for those interested, Elliot Forhan, this guy right here, this is the guy that's the fucking pedophile, by the way. This is the piece of shit that's trying to make it the ability to lure kids into cars much easier in the state of Ohio right now. So yeah, you ever want to know what a pedophile looks like, dude? Just look at Elliot's fucking face right there. Because that's what a pedophile looks like in the state of Ohio right now, dude. Or at least a pedophile nibble anyway. So, anyway. God, they were talking about this forever now. Okay, there we go. I got Justin Moreno's dumbass about the safe storage crap. We're going to talk about what these bills actually do, by the way, here in a minute is what it is.
testimony. Appreciate you bringing this
Fucking
bill forward.
jackass Peterson.
That concludes the first hearing.
Better be the
on
only
House
hearing,
Bill
motherfucker.
170. Now we have House Bill 175 for its first hearing.
Better be the only hearing, Peterson, if you don't want to be the first RINO that gets their ass Article 1, Section 2 out of office right now.
Representative Miranda and Representative Brewer, appreciate your patience. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Chairman. Chair Peterson, Vice Chair Thomas, regular.
By the way, pretty sure that Jessica Miranda's fat ass right here is one of the ones that cheated her way back into office in 2022.
Member Forehand and members of the House Government.
Yeah, enact the Keep Every Home Safe Act. What a fucking lie, dude. Just like the whole Safer Communities Act bullshit that the Democrats push through there at federal level. It doesn't do any of that crap, dude. It's feel-good legislation to steal people's rights is what it really is, man. So I'm not even going to bother listening to her bullshit there is what it is. We're just going to go and talk about other stuff right now. Specifically, we're going to talk about a piece of the email that I got today, actually, what it was, or yesterday from Ohio Gunners, what it was there, and discuss what was actually said here. And then we'll actually go over the actual legislation itself after that then. So this was the actual, I copy and pasted it off my emails, what it was. So this is what was sent to me by Rob Rob Kingsley, I think it's the guy's name is, the one that works Chris Dorr there. Sent to me about 4 o'clock yesterday. It said, only hours ago, we heard word that 2 gun control bills will be heard in the House Oversight Committee hearing tomorrow at 1 p.m. at the State House. This was yesterday at 4 o'clock, so it'll be today. This is when this happened. That was what we just watched there. So, of course, this is the same committee that Mike Loychek's House Bill 51, the Second Amendment Sanctuary Act, is currently sitting, which hasn't been passed out, by the way. These are bad bills, folks, and we need them to stop. If passed, House Bill 170 would implement Bloomberg's red flag gun confiscation law in Ohio that shreds due process, make gun owners guilty and proven innocent, and allow liberal judges and prosecutors to confiscate the firearms of gun owners based on hearsay evidence at ex parte hearings with zero conviction of any crime. But this effort isn't just coming from Democrats. Remember, it was the Republicans who have been sponsoring this legislation in the House and Senate for years, and even governors like John Kasich and Mike DeWine have been trying to pass the laws. Whether it was former state rep Mike Honey or current state senators Matt Dolan and Stephanie Coonsey, which, by the way, Dolan's a sack of shit trying to run for U.S. Senate next year, and Stephanie Coonsey is the mega cunt in Bloomberg's pocket. There is support for this bill in the Republican caucus. Make no mistake, this should be treated as a real threat to gun owners, or to our gun rights. And other gun control on the agenda, House Bill 175 leaves the door wide open for de facto database of gun owners who fail to lock up their firearms in their homes, leaving families vulnerable to thugs and burglars. This bill makes personal information about gun owners public record, which, by the way, how the fuck is that not a Fourth Amendment rights violation of privacy rights and stuff like that is what it is. Specifically, Constitution. Let's talk about Fourth Amendment rights for a minute here. Fourth Amendment, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, homes, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly described in the place to be searched or the persons or things to be seized. So yeah, needless to say, they're not doing that, though, is what it is, man. They never have been doing that stuff. They will take your fucking rights away from you, and then some is what it is. Anyway, continuing on with that, it says, makes gun owners information public record, giving the radical left an open invitation to dox gun owners as well as boycott their businesses and places of work. Sure, it doesn't create any crimes, but if the government hands over your name, race, age, sex, and address to the radical left, they can make your life a living hell. Which, by the way, for those interested, and I'm gonna say this right now, actually. I don't care if this is out there or not, dude. I almost took my life a year ago because of the fact that I thought I was gonna have a fucking Antifa direct action on my fucking home over the fall I had with Guns and Barbecue and Company, dude, because that fucking piece of shit Baron SPG, who I'm pretty sure is affiliated with the Antifa there in Washington State, is what it is. And I figured if I wasn't here anymore, maybe they wouldn't do that, because that's where my mindset was at the time. But you know what? I have since then gotten way over that shit, and I am way back in my right state of mind right now. And that's the thing, right? Sometimes people get in a funk. Sometimes they get into depression. That doesn't mean you should take away their gun rights, dude. That doesn't mean you have the ability or legal authority to take away their fucking freedoms. There's a reason why you have gun organizations out there where you can have people hold your guns. If you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling suicidal, whatever the case be, they can take your guns for you and hold them for you until you're good to go again. You can get them back then. So anyway, let's see here now. Let's see here now. Yeah, it said radical left. They can put your life living hell. You may not have a job for long, and your family could be put in real danger. That's why we have to defeat these bills right here, right now. Exactly. And that's what it is, dude. They need to be killed in committee right now. None of these fuckers need to ever get a second hearing at all. 175, 170, never get a second hearing at all. And it's as simple as that, really. So, anyway. To go back to, let's see where I was at with this. So we're going to talk about specifically the ERPO, and then we're going to talk about the red flag law, red flag law is the same thing. Talk about House Bill 170, which is the ERPO red flag law. Hang on, I need to go check something because it sounds like somebody's beating on my door or something. So it might be my mom forgetting her keys or something. I'll be back in a minute or two. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I had a breath. I'm gonna have to cut this one short, guys. My mom just had a fall in the backyard. She hurt herself pretty bad, so probably have to take her to the hospital here. So, yeah, I wanted to make this longer than it is, but family takes priority. She might have broken her wrist, and I want to go to the hospital immediately. So, we're already calling paramedics, and yeah, I'll be back later at some point, but you know, sorry for the interruption. That was what we were hearing outside, was the noise. She was banging on the back door is what it was. So I'll see you guys in the next one, probably sometime tomorrow is what it is. But like I said, family comes first. She comes first. And yeah, that's all I just said about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll see you in the next one.